On August 30, 2023, as advertised on this signage here, His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo commissioned Electrochem Ghana Limited, a salt mining factory or company in the Adan West District, Sige, to be precise. Now, the establishment of this facility has been met with some rejection or opposition by residents who say, if allowed to fully operate, will affect their livelihoods. Electrochem offered to create community ponds for the residents, the local miners within this area. These are the community ponds expected to serve about 6 of the towns here. Moses Abayate is the production manager here for the community ponds, and so we want to engage him briefly on these ponds and of course their benefits to the community. Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. Give us a brief description of these ponds. We understand 10 of them and how they are serving the community as against the previous way of mining locally.
Yeah, this one, this is a community pond you are seeing now. Previously, it's hard to get brine to produce salt, but this time there's a brine provided by the company. So last year we produced a lot of salt. The community came and mined. We paid them per bowl. So it's like this year too, as you see, we are preparing the ground for the salt to come. So we are expecting so much salt this year too.
Nene Mailo Dadi Bom and Nim is the chief of Toflokpo. He is in the same area where the community ponds have been created. And so we want to find out from him his own assessment of these community ponds.
If you can see, that place is far away from. And when they said dilution of the Akosomo into the lagoon, here is the source. The Akosomo passed through Luwe, and it passes through here before going to that place. Just look at the distance. So if it will be affected them, it was this area, Aminapa and Media here, that will get the effect. But you can see the salt on their pants. Yes, you can see the salt here. So if somebody is telling you at Nakonkope that because of the spillage of the Akosomo, that is affecting their work over there, it's a lie. That is why I'm telling you that it's a lie.
Now, in December of 2023, the Adan East District Assembly issued an eviction notice to communities within this concession to vacate by the 31st of December 2023. This is Amalakpa, one of the communities to be affected by this eviction notice. Now, what you see here, this water body is the Songor Lagoon, on which over 10,000 farmers within these 20 communities to be affected by this eviction depend for their livelihoods. But before we engage them, let's walk you through the process of salt farming and salt harvesting. After harvesting water from the Songor Lagoon, and of course trapping it here in the ponds, there will be evaporation, and of course within 3 to 5 days the crystallization begins, and then salt can be harvested. Taking you through the process, let's engage the farmers and find out what's the make of the eviction notice. So should Assembly or Electrochem move in to take possession of their concession, what are your plans as local farmers in the area? What are your plans?
In fact, it would be a very great disgrace and so painful in our heart, because as a community member, and as you come here, you can see that there's no any other work here apart from this. This is what all of us in the community that we do. So leaving this work for company to take, in fact, it will make us not to get any other work again. Yes. So in fact, we will not leave the work. We will stand on our toe until our work remains here for us.
Yes, I know so. And now my war honor, and I'm what ye nam juma, and son, yes, I ain't chini jumansu bium. Me can say, Ubehun say, Sony da honum. Akramu guma, amuyi, and nam any door would you sound so better me, aye. ɛna yɛsan yɛ nkyene dwuma yɛ mamefoɔ ne papafoɔ mu nyinaa nkyene dwuma na yɛyɛ akwara no nso bɛtumi akɔ ɔmo akɔ na ɔmo anya kakra na ɔmo de abɛka wo deɛ ne ho ne ayɛ fine saa na yɛyɛ wɔ ha ne so ɛkɔpem time a yɛti sɛ papa yi bɛyi obi ani asom ɛnura sɛ polisifoɔ kaa baako 10 ɛna ɛbɛroro ne ha ɔmo ba akwara no mu nyinaa adwane ɛdi akɔ mi na ma akɔ so obi mu scrap a ɔyɛ dede sɛ ɔmo bɛku yɛ ɛna mbɛ so ne mu sɛ ɔngyae so na obi ankɔ no ɔsi mi nkoto pon ansa na ɔbɛtumi atena ase because gyina ne ho nti mi ma mba baabi a polisifoɔ no wɔ because of akwara no mo wɔ kurom nti obi asoro ama obi ani agye sɛ wokɔ baabi na wogyae wo ba ma wo nua krapo a ɔsoro because ɔno nso hwɛ ne deɛ ɔmo ba sɛ yɛ ɔntumi mfa wo deɛ ne nka ne deɛ no na ɔde adwane wonim yɛntumi to kwan bio adwuma na yɛyɛ nso sesia because of them nti ɔmo abie ɛpo no ɛde ahyɛ yɛn nsuo no mu baabi a yɛyɛ nkye no bi wɔ mu obi mu krapo start adwuma yɛ ɛma kɔm di nkrɔmfoɔ.
Have you received this letter, or are you aware of a letter from the Ada East District Assembly asking you to vacate your lands by close of 31st December?
Yo, wanu munyunge koyo wanu letter munyunge koyo say aha wa copy. Kono adewo ke wanu nge koyo kan ake no ko no ne say wa boa wani on the 31st wa boa wanu finu ko patui ko ne waji patui wa po engagement ko we jama no ko be wa keme wa peti abado wo no ko we say last ko le sela echewo na ji chief executive for lo ne wa ya wa ke wa tumunyu le wa ke o eke e ma invite electoral committee ba ko ne wa pe wa ba yin ko ne ehia me ke ne ehia wo ne wa yin ne wa de le wa de ke yo e no 3 days ole agbenu nge songo to fropo ne kolo wangma wo mi aha kan wa benye ne wanyemi e mana ha o mi kakikun na wa ba yin ne wa ke wa ma hin no ndo hisese kan choka wanyemi ne buo de po komo na songo no isane ken lo amara ba se so ne lo ka agbenu nge songo yo isane wa ye no kolo no kekiri lokoji wa ka wa ba yin kikama no me kra ne nge ba no kwale hane woni mi chomo kamini dio wa be no kami nge mami wange on off but no ka wa panu akeko kan akakamba na baba nu wa lo ba mi lanu kwale hane wa dwemi o efun singe kake ma bi me kra pio in fact keje mo ti kwa se pio ni po ayi eta kan enoji nene wa tuon keje blema no wa ngwemite lo nwo no kan wa gbe pa san yin le nyun etan ke ya wa jengo lo lejo na he no kaminge loko wa na no ko wo wa hi ne ke obi ya suku hu lejo ma na no ko loko ma ke wo obi osuku wa ka bene adio 41,000 acres na nge dio wa nge nu ake se chapi jan nene wale ne aha is it 29,000 acres 9,000 acres la ha in fact ebi wa moto ne gboko e ma wa e da mako be the whole Ghana adan na ke adan east adan west ani eni ne nga mo ba pon me kra de ka ko chu ko ebe yin lo ba pon mo no ne wo wa ma pon ka enga chun elejon ko ne me ne mo nga yo me hu achun yo.
Despite the concerns being raised by the indigents of the area, the district chief executive, Sarah Pobi, says the window is not closed yet. She indicates in a telephone conversation with Citi News that her doors are still open for negotiations, irrespective of the eviction notice.
Neither of them have moved yet. We have given them the opportunity to meet the assembly for further discussions. So the evacuation letter has been given to them, but there has been a room for them to engage. But they haven't. I want you to ask them, their PRO, if they have even consulted the assembly and we have not given them audience before they are even circulating this letter around. So our doors are open for them to come for us to negotiate. Although we've given them the evacuation letter, we are not on them evacuating them. Like, excuse me, some people that we don't know our left from our right. It's a letter that we've given them, and we have asked them to come for us to sit at the round table and take a decision. And I've also gotten a letter from the clan who want to meet me.
Let's now speak to the Public Relations Officer of Electrochem Ghana Limited, Bernard Mate Colley, who has some assurances to allay the fears of the indigents of the communities along the Songor Lagoon.
We are not stopping them in mining. We are just giving them the opportunity to also mine. And what we are trying to say is that we regulate them in order for them to do the proper thing. And that's what exactly the situation is currently. So it's not like we are denying them outrightly, but we're giving the opportunity to also mine and make some money. And it will also surprise you in a way, because this is the very first time mining company has given portion of its concession to locals to mine. You know, the same license that we had, the same license that all the mining companies are having. What we're supposed to pay by way of grant rents, by way of royalties, and other taxations from the assembly to governmental levels, as a company we have fulfilled our parts, and we are still making sure that at least the local folks will also enjoy what God has given them by virtue of their stay or their existence in Adam. We don't see it to be a compensation. We see it to be a responsibility of us, making sure that, look, this is a God-given natural resource. We have, by law, the right to mine. We are also not leaving the locals out. And so we are making provision for them to also have opportunity to mine. Okay? And so that is what it is. When it comes to financial obligations and other commitments from governmental level, like I said, we have done the needful.